What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. Go over some of the data points, break it down what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid right now is down slightly, 0.46%, 213 the low, and that's because of some negative data. I'll go over that in a second. And then 225 is the high. You are seeing somewhat heavy volume today, so 40 million shares being traded. 125 is the average. So starting off with the data, we did have ADP employment coming out at 715. Forecast was 70,000, came in at 37,000. Not good whatsoever. It hasn't been this low since pretty much mid 2023. So of course that was a little bit more of a cause for concern. It did affect a lot of the stocks, but seems to not have affected Lucid whatsoever during that time period. And then you did have this right here. So ISM services came in at 49.9, forecast was 52. So 50 is a big deal for that. Anything below 50 shows more of a contraction. Anything above 50 shows more of an expansion. So that wasn't all that great. So ultimately that did kind of hit Lucid a little bit, but that was largely because of shorts at the same time. So I'll go over that later in the video. Lucid did put out news though. So Lucid strengthens US supply chain with new graphite material supply agreement with Graphite 1. They did actually have a pre-existing deal with them, which was signed in July 2024. The only difference is that this is now a 5-year agreement, and it does actually specifically state that they're going to be getting it from, I think it is Alaska. So right here, Nome, Alaska. So it is fair to assume, obviously, if you read between the lines, the previous agreement was not a American where they got it from. So I think this is generally a good thing. It does go to show that Lucid's kind of getting all their ducks in a row to ensure that they can be exempt from any tariffs and things along those lines. So I think this is a pretty good thing. The only other thing that really came out that I wanted to bring up was posted by 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, and originally it was posted at the end of April. Just Lucid did take their video down. A lot of people took their analysis down for whatever reason. It was kind of odd, but it looks like Lucid Motors Saudi Arabia, or the Middle East one, did repost this video. So it goes to show that there might be a deal with Blacklane coming soon. And so essentially that would result in a kind of a fairly big order. As far as how big, that could be anyone's guess. It could be like 15, it could be 50, or it could be 100. We don't really know at this stage in the game. So we might have some more PR coming out over the next couple of trading days in reality. So I think that's kind of a good thing. So this in combination with this is causing Lucid, in my opinion, to really show a lot of signs that it wants to push higher. But like I mentioned, Lucid had this swift pull lower, and that was because of shorts. So shorts are right now increasing net 1.94 million shares. First thing, they were increasing roughly around 3.5 million. So again, that's where it really hit the momentum. So shorts are definitely monitoring Lucid very, very closely. But right now they are increasing 1.94 million. 31.64% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 390.18 million shares overall are being shorted. So definitely interesting to see shorts this active, and regardless of everything, it seems to be from this green line that they are just still continuously increasing. So the high was back in October 2024, and so it looks as though that Lucid might be testing that. So back then, short interest was, I think, 33%. So that was the all-time high for Lucid. So we'll wait and see what does come over the next couple of trading days, but it's definitely interesting to see shorts this active. So hell bent on really destroying Lucid, as I mentioned. They must have some vendetta against them. But looking at the options, 224,000 in calls, 41,000 in puts. So kind of low dollar value when it comes down to the options. So clearly big institutions are paying attention to common stock more rather than options. And I think that's kind of fair because given the strike prices and the percentage between them. But today, 50% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. So not the best all in all. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Even if you zoom out, since May the 19th, Lucid has only had 2 green days. So I think Lucid is well overdue for at least a nice push higher. That's just my own opinion, of course, but this is absolutely insane. So I think Lucid's definitely had a rough couple of weeks, so hopefully they do put out some official news with Blacklane and give some actual numbers saying that it might be, again, 100, 200, or whatever else as far as actual stuff. One thing I do want to also bring up, though, I saw it floating around on social media, the latest in monthly numbers for May, and it does go to show that Lucid did not sell any Gravities. So it's kind of a very weird scenario. So I'll kind of bring that up in tomorrow's video, do more of a deeper dive in that. But I think that has also been really impacting Lucid. There's been quite a few things in reality, but from the bulls, you see a consensus for it to be above 250, bears for it to be sub 2. So given where we are at, we're pretty much level, even ground right here. So it's a little bit more of a tug and pull over the next couple trading days, most likely. But these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000, all of which are sells. So big money is definitely selling Lucid. So majority of the volume being done today is linked to shorts and algorithmic trading. And a lot of that is done through the dark pool from the shorting front. But a couple of big transactions, 1.16 million. And then you also do have, looks like that's the only one over 1 million. But fairly active exchange as per usual. With it right now at 219, it really does want to kind of push higher, breaking the red trend. But right now with that 219, it is slightly above this S1. So 218 is going to be that key pivot, good support. And that's probably why shorts are active, to try to break it below that. Because if it does break below that on a technical standpoint, you might see a little bit lower lows. Then 248 and then 278 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. No new analyst ratings or anything like that. No even articles really coming out aside from just reiterating the recent news. So at the end of the day, I think Lucid does need to, at least they put out news. I got to give them a round of applause. This is still a positive, and hopefully a lot of people at Lucid see this as a good thing, right? Because if you look at this, at the time that this came out, matching with what happened with the stock price, it goes to show that big money and just the market liked them putting out news. Just unfortunately, Lucid can't really control shorts, and shorts are hell-bent on really bringing Lucid down. But aside from that, though, on the actual charts, it's kind of horrific. The only positive to bring up is the fact that it is very oversold. So that could really stand to benefit it in the next couple of trading days. But you have the 50-day moving average sitting at 247, the 100 sitting at 256, and then the 200 at 276. So it is well below all those points. So again, the only positive is just that 218 level based on the fib levels and the fact that it is oversold. So hopefully Lucid does continue this good momentum. One thing I did want to bring up, which was rather unfortunate, I commented on, I think his name was Nick on social media, the communications, head of communications. And I asked him why Lucid is not participating in this right here. And so I cover Rivian under Financial Journey, and Rivian is participating at the UBS Auto and Auto Tech Conference that's being done today. So logically, you would assume that Lucid would be there, right? They have the best tech. So I feel like that is something that Lucid is really lagging. Peter definitely would have not missed this. That would have been a huge opportunity for him to just rant, talk about technology. That was his passion. So you can kind of see that there is that lack of passion clearly by them not participating in this, unless there's some other reason. But let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. Aside from all of that, though, let me know your thoughts on Lucid. If you've been buying, if you've been selling, are you buying the dip? Do you think it's going to dip more? Do you think that this is the temporary bottom in and it'll move higher? What's your general 2 cents on all of that? Then one final thing, pop over to my Discord, completely free. A lot of good people talking about stocks, options, crypto. A lot of big Lucid fans in there as well. So definitely pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.